What happens when one of television's calmest interviewers sits across from one of the most debated figures in modern royalty? At first, it looked like a respectful talk. The studio lights were soft, the air steady, and the opening tone gentle. But as the minutes ticked by, the mood shifted. What started as light questions slowly turned into sharp replies, stiff smiles, and growing tension that no one in the room could ignore. By the end, it didn't feel like an interview at all. It felt like a clash. Diana Sawyer sat steady in her chair, wearing the same calm expression that had helped her speak with world leaders and major public figures for decades. Across from her sat Meghan Markle in a neat cream top and fitted navy blazer, her hair falling in soft waves. She walked in with the confidence of someone ready to control every part of the story. "Meghan, thank you for joining us," Diana began warmly, her voice smooth and balanced. Meghan smiled back, though there was a clear edge hidden under the sweetness. "Thank you for having me. It's always interesting when I'm invited somewhere to correct the false stories people like to twist." A light laugh came from the audience. Though many caught the bite in her tone, Diana noticed it too but continued politely. "Well, that's part of why I wanted this conversation. People read so much, but they haven't always heard your thoughts directly. How are you these days? How is life treating you?" Meghan crossed her legs, straightened in her chair, and sighed. "Life is demanding. When you've lived under non-stop judgment, you learn to rise above it. People like me often end up carrying everyone else's expectations." Her words felt more like a speech than an answer. Diana nodded slowly. "And how is Harry?" she asked with a gentle smile. "Many people admire how the two of you support each other." For a moment, Meghan's expression sharpened. "Harry is fine. But let's make something clear. Harry isn't my shield or my definition. People always want to make me his side story. But I'm the one who's faced more hostility than he ever did." Whispers moved through the audience. Meghan leaned back, showing no sign of being bothered. Diana kept smiling, though the smile was thinner now. "I understand. People ask because they see your relationship as a strong partnership." Meghan let out a brief laugh without real humor. "Partnership, sure. But let's not pretend people aren't always trying to put me under him. It's insulting." Diana drew in a quiet breath and moved on. "Let me ask about your children. Many parents watching admire the way you talk about motherhood. How has it shaped you?" The air tightened. Meghan narrowed her eyes. "Changed me? That's the assumption again. I've always been strong and clear about who I am. Having children didn't fix me. I didn't need fixing." Even the producers behind the cameras exchanged tense looks. Meghan's tone turned every simple question into something prickly. Diana tried to steady the moment. "Of course, many mothers speak of personal change. That's all." Meghan cut her off quickly. "Well, my experience is different. And we should stop pretending I'm like everyone else." Her words dropped into the silence with force. Diana breathed in slowly and shifted direction. "Let's talk about your time with the royal family. Looking back, how do you feel now?" Meghan's jaw set. "Whenever people ask that, it's never real curiosity. It's judgment dressed up as interest. I don't owe anyone explanations about an institution that cared more about image than people." Diana's smile faltered for the first time, though she regained control quickly. The tension in the room thickened. Meghan's confident calm had changed into something colder, harder. Diana adjusted her notes. "You've spoken about the challenges, but some say the visibility also brought opportunity. Do you see any balance there?" Meghan laughed again, sharp and fast. "Opportunities? More like chains. You might see it as a gift. I saw it as being used." Diana nodded. "Some would say it helped you amplify causes or women's issues. Mental health are giving you a global voice." Meghan tilted her head. "I didn't need a crown on my head to care about women's rights, and no one should act like the monarchy gave me my purpose." "That idea is insulting." The audience shifted restlessly. Some clapped once or twice, others stayed still. Diana leaned in slightly. "Visibility can be powerful, though. By whose standards? Meghan shot back. I was already making an impact. There was no misunderstanding her tone. It was sharp and sure of itself. Diane moved carefully to a different topic. Let's discuss your Netflix series. There were reports that you requested a bigger budget and more control for the next season. Can you comment? Meghan raised a brow. Reports? Let me make this simple. When you're shaping stories, you don't ask for approval. You set the terms. Quality isn't free. A few gasps rippled across the room. Diane kept her reply gentle. Some critics called it demanding. Meghan shrugged. Funny how women with standards are called difficult, but men with the same standards are praised. Diane listened, then tried another calm question. Do you think the backlash might be because people see a gap between wanting privacy and doing large public projects? The temperature dropped. Meghan's smile vanished. Privacy doesn't mean silence. It means I choose what to share. That's called control. And yes, I've earned it. She stared at Diane as if daring her to argue. Producers whispered off stage, deciding whether to cut to commercial, but Diane signaled them to stay. She continued with steady resolve. How do you feel when you think about the royal family now? Sadness? Relief? Meghan leaned forward. I feel nothing. They're irrelevant to me. The media can't let go. Not me. Gasps echoed. Diane blinked slowly. You don't think they matter to the world at all? Meghan scoffed. They matter to people who like fairy tales. I'm not interested in living as part of a display. Diane's composure finally thinned. Truth often requires a little humility. Do you see how your answers may come across? Meghan smirked. People call confidence arrogance when they can't handle it. I'm not bowing anymore. The room held its breath. Diane had interviewed some of the toughest people on the planet, but this was testing even her limits. She shifted again. Many see Harry as central to your story. How would you describe your relationship today? Meghan chuckled softly, almost mocking. Our marriage isn't for public entertainment. And honestly, it's insulting that you frame it like that. Diane tried again. People admire your strength together. Curiosity isn't a right. Meghan snapped. People think they're owed access. Tension tightened even more. Diane pressed on. Your child Rena, how do you manage their privacy while being so public? Balance is a made-up word, Meghan said flatly. My kids are protected because I say so, and no one deserves details about them. Another wave of discomfort moved through the audience. Diane attempted one last direction. Is there room for reconciliation with the royal family? Meghan's glare was sharp. Reconciliation with a system that never welcomed me? That chapter isn't closed. It's burned. Diane stiffened. Meghan went on. People love fairy tales, but it was a cage for me. Diane finally let a trace of steel into her voice. The monarchy did give you a global platform. Isn't there some acknowledgement for that? I owe them nothing, Meghan snapped. If anything, they owe me. The room erupted with whispers. Diane's calm finally cracked. That's a bold claim. It's the truth. Meghan fired back. Silence fell heavy. Diane leaned forward, voice steady but sharp. What I'm seeing now doesn't look like strength. It looks like arrogance. Meghan's jaw set. Confidence makes people uncomfortable. The tension was unbearable. Diane's eyes hardened. The control room whispered urgently. Meghan looked pleased, as if she'd won. But Diane leaned in one last time. I've interviewed people who've suffered deeply, and they showed more humility in minutes than you have this entire hour. Meghan's face reddened. You don't know me. And yet, Diane said, here you sit, acting like only your truth matters. Without Harry, without the platform, you wouldn't be here. The audience gasped again. Diane continued, calm but firm. Instead of conversation, you offered contempt. This show cannot continue like this. Meghan stood quickly. I won't be spoken to this way. Then perhaps don't come expecting praise instead of questions. Diane answered. The room froze. Meghan tore off her microphone, threw it onto the chair, and hissed, this interview is over. She stormed off, heels echoing sharply until she vanished behind the curtain. The silence afterward felt endless. Diane turned slowly to the camera. To our viewers, I apologize. This is not how we conduct interviews. What you saw today was not respect, and for that, I'm sorry. The audience offered quiet applause. By nightfall, the clip would circle the globe, And one question would remain everywhere. Did Meghan Markle finally lose control of her own narrative?